And I died, guys. Does anyone know what that means? It means I like to share some stuff with you.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 66. And I know this video is very late. If you didn't know, I was camping with my family and gone for 5 days, and I almost decided to skip this video, but I liked some of the answers that Mike gave to questions and the leak for the video. So I decided let's kind of do a Cliff Notes quicker version of Dev Chat. And the first question we're going to start with right now. Mike, will there be a wipe for 1.0 full release? Go.
Well, yes, but actually no. Everyone who's in the CT program, the CT program's like a PTR. It's not public yet, but it's a different entire entity. So anything that happens in the CT program does not carry up. What happens in CT stays in CT, and will not be carried over to the live build version when that comes out. However, once we do hit 0.9 and we have an official launch for multiplayer, all of the characters that are created in that, the plan right now, I say the plan right now because, you know, things can change, maybe there's a problem or a bug or something, but the plan is to keep all those characters in a standard league or standard cycle type environment where they're still playable, but they're just not on the ladder, basically. So you won't lose your stuff. But if you want to compete in the ladder and take part in the new, all the new stuff there, whatever that means, which still is also not fully detailed yet, those will be playable, but not playable in the new league.
Really? Mike, what changes will we see for Forge Guard in 09?
Cherry on top, Forge Guard, I think, Master Sword, you know this already. Forge Guard's getting some stuff for, Manifest Armor, big visual overhaul, and some functional updates, let's call it.
Leak number 1. Ooh, what do we got?
A little character portrait. This will be a very familiar face in the future playing Last Epoch. This is Keeper Balthus. And he will be a pretty prominent character going forward.
Got a big old dragonfly. Look at that artwork.
I think they meant element rework, specifically the poison shred stack 30k. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, there is some element changes happening with.
Weirdly, when I look at this, I think of the Falconeer, like the Falcon going to be bigger than the Dragonfly.
For example, Poison Shred is only applying for the first 30 stacks, which is still like, it's not really much of a nerf to it at this point.
This question and answer might be my favorite part of the stream. Listen to this.
Okay, any plans on additional minion classes? I would say, well, so kinda. As far as classes that are going to make it in for 1.0, Falconer will have a lot of minion functionality because there's going to be a Falcon that you're going to be using. So there's stuff there, but as a mass minion class similar to Necromancer or Primalist, no, none of the remaining masteries are planned to be in that category. That doesn't mean you can't have minion builds in other classes. Like, there's some very successful minion builds in Sentinel, which is generally not considered a minion class by most people initially, at least, I think.
Changes may be coming to loot filters?
And so loot filters have descriptions. So this big description field in loot filter. And it's kind of weird that there's this big description field here, because if you're making the loot filter, like, why do you need the description field, yada, yada, yada. And one thing we want to do still with loot filters is have them be shareable in game, so that you're like, I want to like go to the loot filter browser and find loot filter for my hammered in, and you search like hammered in loot filter or whatever, and it like brings up a list of ones that people have voted on that say these ones are good or something like that. And having that in game, I think, would be really useful.
All right, everyone. Unfortunately, we have come to our final leak of Dev Chat 66. Mike, as always, thank you for continuing your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. It makes 11th Hour Games such a great studio compared to everyone else because you truly get to connect with us, the players. Now, I gotta say this. It's the end of the video. I've got 2 asks for you. Ask number 1, hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. We're less than 300 subs away from our goal of 20,000. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 45 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. Weekly podcast, weekly blog post, access to the VIP lounge, which means you could chat directly with me, special title in the Discord, and lots of other goodies based upon where you sign up at. Also in the description is over 18 viable build guides for 0.85. So if you're looking to play Last Epoch, you might find something you like in there. All right, that's all I've got. Mike, take it away.
One last thing to share with you that I'm going to put up while I'm talking out the last little bit. Here's a little bit of a turnaround with animations for Keeper Balthus that you'll see in game with his happy little friend there. If you are going to use beard oil on your beard as you're growing it out, which is probably a good idea to do, as it can get pretty itchy, try making your own, because it is so expensive to just buy beard oil, but making your own is cheap. I currently cap frames at 40. If an Acolyte build that can read 8.9, give me that 0.9 patch, please, on its way. Would you be willing to have the team look into scaling forging potential when exalted items have only 1 affix? I've run into multiple 1-2 affix exalted items that lacking forging potential to push their limits on them. That's unfortunate. That's just an RNG roll. So maybe if you've suggestions, best left on the forums. D3 was called elective mode. Yes. A challenge to keep it on. Yeah. Is there a loot filter for LP? No, there's not. That's all the questions.